Zoning Board of Appeals, please listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged, come forward, give us your name and address, tell property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone that needs an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we begin, there are 4 adjournments on our calendar tonight. Number 1 is 23001, property located in Amityville. Is anybody here on that application? It is being adjourned to March the 16th. The next one is application 22209, Taco Bell, property located in Lindenhurst. That is being adjourned to March the 9th. The next 2 applications are application 22254 and 22255, WMK LLC, doing business as Mobility Works, property located in Deer Park. They are both being adjourned to March the 16th. First application tonight is application 22248 of Scott Littleman, property located in West Babylon. Name and address for the record, please.
Scott Littman, 172 Columbus Avenue, West Babylon, New York, 11704.
And you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, planning vision memo dated February 9th, 2023. Environmental control memo dated February 14th, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by William Hogan dated June 26, 2019. Tax map acting as an area map.
Mr. Chairman, we have 4 photographs.
Okay. Would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, we are looking to build a pool deck for the family to enjoy the pool that we put in 2019. In the interim, we did put up a gazebo, which we are looking to legalize. I should have read that I needed a permit for 10 by 12. I didn't realize that. I saw a 10 by 10. I didn't realize that, and I apologize. We had put that on a deck at grade, which I had seen that a deck at grade needed to be 2 feet from the property line. I put it 4.5 feet, not realizing that when you put a gazebo on that, that changed the regulation. And we had also put in a patio in 2020, not realizing when we put it in, the requirement was the same as for a deck at grade. And we did go to the property line on the west side and in the back. The stoop did exist when we purchased the home. And that pretty much, I believe, covers all the items that we are looking to take care of with this application.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
So you're really here to finalize the pool structure?
No,
Okay.
the pool was, well, the pool itself has a certificate of occupancy. All of that was
Okay.
permitted and everything through the town. I'm looking to build a pool deck
Got it.
to attach to that above-ground pool.
Okay. We do have a problem with the patio. Patio's there currently. Yes.
I do see the board's comment on that. I did receive a quote, approximately $2,500 to $3,000, not including the cost of gravel. I would also petition the board that what is there now is attractive, and to replace it with 2 feet of gravel would diminish the property and not look nice. So I would make that request of the board.
So you're absolutely on the property line right now?
In the back corner,
Yeah.
my fence is approximately a foot off of the property line, but on the west side, I am on the property line, yes, ma'am.
So the pavers are only like around the pool? It doesn't go across the whole property, right? Or you have to-
Well, from the fence, if you
On the
see the
west side?
driveway, in the fence, In the front, on the west side, it goes front to back. That entire part, which is about 9 foot wide, it's essentially a large T. Yeah, it is in line with the fence.
Okay, so I see the patio has like a border and stuff that goes around it,
Yes, yes, sir.
so... He's got a little space there. Yeah, right? So you have a little, I mean, just looking at that picture, and it seems like it's not quite up to the fence.
It's like an inch of gravel to prevent it from damaging with the fence and all
Plus, the
of
back
that.
fence is a foot off the property line.
Okay.
I did also have a question of the board regarding the front stoop, where it says that it not being closed. If we were to put a portico-like roof, but have columns and it be open air?
Fine.
That's fine? Okay, that was my other concern. But that's just future planning.
Okay. You would have to come back before the board, though.
Oh, for the portico?
For the portico.
Yes.
Absolutely. No, understood.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to speak on this application?
Do you want to?
Pull the mic down. Yeah, there you go. I need your name and address for the record.
My name is Kenneth Lipman. I live in the same house.
Okay, we'll go with that. Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to tell us about your application or your parents' application?
I would like to say I would prefer a pool deck because the way that we get in the pool right now, I feel like it's not the safest thing. We have a very wobbly ladder that constantly gets dirty and it just doesn't look that good and I fall off it sometimes, so I don't like it.
Okay.
That's why I want a deck.
There you go. Very good.
Thank you.
I'll take that as a no.
All right, so one other question. If the gazebo was ever taken down, do you agree to rebuild it in a conforming location or place it in-
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 22-248 with a condition that the front stoop not be enclosed and a gazebo, if it's ever taken down, be rebuilt in a conforming location.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck. Be safe.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good job, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Good job, pal. Take care, guys.
Next application is application 23002, BDG Farmingdale, property located in Farmingdale. Oh, it's Longhorn Steakhouse.
Good evening, Chairman Kane, members of the board. For the record, I'm Mark Garabrandt with the law firm Donahue, Kretz & Garabrandt, 692 South Wellwood Avenue, Lindenhurst, in New York.
Let me just, give me a second, Mark, just to read this stuff in.
Sure.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 8, 2023. Environmental control memo dated February 14, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Yes, this is a site plan by Galeas Surveying Group dated, yeah, my eyes aren't that good. Here, you got the younger eyes.
See a field date of 10/3/18.
Okay, we'll go with that, 10/3/18. This guy's gonna start making these things a little bigger. Site plan by Joseph Deal, last dated, holy crap, 3/20/17. Yeah. Tax map acting as an area map, could have been worse. And,
Mr. Chairman, we have 4 photographs.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Well, I see here that the planning staff had no objections to it, so I hope the board has none as well. We're seeking renewal of 2 variances which we received 5 years ago. No other additional variances to maintain 2 signs on the south and west elevations. What I can tell you as far as the steakhouse is concerned, my understanding, when you read their website, this has been their logo since 1981. When they were formed, there are 550 of them across America, and they believe that this logo is in keeping with their original badge and that it's synonymous with great steaks. Great quality steaks, I should say.
Okay, so everything's the same, nothing's changed, the sign is still in good repair, and everything's good?
Right, and we heard from the landlord, the Bloomingfields, and they said, they're a great tenant over there, so
Okay.
they're happy with them.
I'll make a motion to approve application 23002 for a period of 5 years.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Okay, now we got a problem.
No.
So the next application is application 22252 of South Shore Kia, property located in Copeg. There is nobody here right now. I'll go on. The next application is application 23003 of Rollright Towing, property located in West Babylon, and also application 22195, also of Rollright, and in West Babylon, and nobody is present for this application either. Is that it? At this time, yeah. So what do we gotta wait? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let's go, yeah. It's scheduled for 6:20, both of them. No, 6:20, 6:25. That's fine, yeah, let's do our thing.
We can move to those. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Office of the Town Attorney, Pamela Green for appearance. Moving on to page 8 of the agenda. You'll see in your packet, there's a request for an extension of time for application 16121A and B, property located in North Lindenhurst. This is the 12th extension of time being requested.
Do we know what's going on? Are we giving 12 extensions of time?
If you'd like to
Yeah.
hold it, we could.
Yeah, let's look into it and see what's going on there, please. That's a lot of extensions of time.
Moving on to page 9 of the agenda, the application is 22118 and 22119, J. Matangi, located at 400 New York State Route 109. They're requesting their first extension of time. The property is located in Farmingdale.
I'll make a motion to approve an extension of time on application 22118 and 22119 for a period of 6 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to page 10 of the agenda, the application is 22-120, Khrushchev LLC. This property is located in Farmingdale. This is their first extension of time. This is for the hotel.
I'll make a motion to approve an extension of time on application 22120 for a period of 6 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, and if we'd like to continue, if we just go to the last one, page 11, the application is 22-020, Nassau Suffolk County Partnership Housing Development. The property is located in Lindenhurst. This is the first extension of time.
Make a motion to approve the first extension of time, application 22-020. Second.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thanks. This roll, right? So, is anybody here on application 22252, South Shore Kia? No, okay. Next application, or applications, is 23003 and 22195 of Roll Right Towing, property located in West Babylon. Name and address for the record, please.
Glenn Nugent. I'm an attorney for Roll Right Towing, 31 Green Avenue, Amityville, New York. Good evening.
Good evening. For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 10th, 2023. A second planning memo dated February 10th, 2023. There is one, there's a picture. Department of Environmental Control memo dated July 11, 2022. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A fire marshal's report dated July 14, 2022, has a valid permit. What I guess is a survey by Harold Bosch, which I cannot read a date. Maybe that wasn't a survey. Okay. I have another survey by Aerial Land Surveying dated August 5th, 2022. Tax map acting as an area map. And what number was that? Oh, number 1. There's, in opposition to the application, sending a copy of the letter to, yeah, it's just, yeah, there's no, not signed by anybody. Then there was another one. No taco, no. Okay. And
Yes, we have 8 photographs between both applications.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Well, it seeks a special exception to renew a operation as a public garage. It's been there for 41 years. And it's also, we're trying to legalize the signage, existing signage. We were scheduled originally to be heard in July, and we received a planning board memo indicating that there were 2 violations, one having to do with the facade having been improved, basically covered brick with ephes material, and also the signage, which was, although he has an annual sign permit, he didn't realize that he had to get a special exception for the excess signs, 5 signs on, rather than 3. That application was adjourned for personal reasons at my end, and I appreciate the town's consideration for that. And we attempted to legalize, well, the signage application is before you now. Mr. Mara has been working on trying to get this, the facade legalized. So there'll be some commentary, deservedly so, from the town regarding the use, the manner of the use, with regard to the amount of vehicles parked in and around the property. Mr. Mara and his family, all employees, recognize this. They just recently had their New York State towing contract. It expired, actually, Sunday, the 13th of February. So that's going to result in a significant change. I'm sure it'll be welcomed by the neighborhood and perhaps you fine people. There'll be fewer vehicles on the property. The semi-truck, which has been something of a fixture in the front of the building, is now removed and will not come back. All the vehicles will be maintained inside in the evening. There's also a note about the dumpster, where it's located. On that, I don't know what day it was inspected, but the dumpster remains behind the fence 6.5 days out of the week, It comes out on Monday night because it's collected on Tuesday. They fork, the operator, the premises owner brings it out with a forklift, brings it up to the east side of the property, and early in the morning on Tuesday, carting company empties it, puts it back, and it eventually makes its way back into behind the yard. So I think we're okay in that department. I hope that you agree. And that's all I have to say on that.
Thank you. Turning hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
Okay, so the striping, when is that going to be done?
Okay. I neglected to mention that. According to Mr. Mara and Mr. Gebhardt, the architect, there has been striping.
Okay.
The memo indicates that it's supposed to be 2 handicap spots. Mr. Mara's architect believes it only requires 1. There is, in fact, 1. I'm not sure why, when it was inspected, it was determined that there wasn't striping. There is striping.
Okay, I'll drive by again to confirm that. Okay, and so the dumpster's taken out, put back, and then moved back to the west side. It doesn't stay on the east side? Or are you just
Right,
saying?
it's only brought out to the east side because if it was brought out in the front of the shop, it might create a hazard for the carting company to collect it. They'd have to stick the vehicle in the road. So it was decided to bring it over to the Laramie where it would be safer to do what the carting company does. And so it's brought out on Monday night from behind the fence. It's collected on Tuesday, and then sometime Tuesday, the dumpster is returned back inside the fence.
Okay, and you mentioned something about the tow truck or the towing contract being expired?
But
So you guys are not renewing that?
No. I mean,
You can come up and testify. You can't
right.
yell out from the audience.
Roll-Ride has an existing Town of Babylon towing permit, but they had, over the past 4 years, a New York State towing contract, and that has expired, effective February 13th.
Okay.
And it's not going to be renewed.
Okay. We did have some concerns about the parking alongside the sidewalk. What's happening with that? Was that part of this towing truck?
I believe what you're,
Cluster?
because the yard was so full with vehicles, there was a sparsity
Overload?
of remaining spots inside. So some of the employees and customers, right? Can I speak about that? Well, okay.
You come on up. Yeah. You come on up.
Yes, come on up.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm Anthony Mara, Roll-Ride Towing.
Need your address, just for the record.
Home address?
Pick one.
We'll give you 639 Sunrise Highway. I pretty much live there. West Babylon, New York.
You affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
What you see there, the trucks, number one, when the driver goes out, normally out of an 8-hour day, they're on the road all day. They go dispatch from one to the next, okay? When a truck does come back, they do come in sometimes to get paperwork. There you're seeing one that came in. It should be more, I feel it's safer, not being all the way out on Sunrise Highway. Like, there's been many accidents of the two places next to us, east and west of us. But that's not a common thing. They come in, next job, see it, go to Queens, yeah, that's it. And then now every truck goes in that yard where we were putting the cars when we had the Parkway contract. So when they come back, they know that's a no-no. It's done.
Okay, so what is the pileup that's occurring on the residential side?
When you say, would that be Laramie?
Yes,
Really?
that's not occurring.
When we had the Parkway, there was a couple of times cars that were gonna be repaired were put in those, and I have a picture of all the striping that was done, and they would be put in each parking spot where the stripes are now, and then they will go in the shop. Most of the, we have a company that's an upfitting company where we take pickup trucks and we add running boards, a bed liner, John knows. And those vehicles do come 90% of them get dropped off between 8 and 9 a.m., and 90% of them do leave before 5. It's a one-day operation. Sometimes there's 1 or 2, and we park them all the way on the property up front. But now we'll have all the spacing out front, because every truck you see there is, if you pass there now, I had 2 phone calls, they thought I sold the building. There's nothing there.
I drove by today, it was pretty,
Huh? Look good?
yeah, it looks good.
Look fancy? But the lights on yet?
So when did you put up the extra signs?
10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah, I would say 8 to 10 years ago. And I pay my sign permit. You know, there were logos put up to, you know, we've been, you know, not here to cry today, but things have been really financially rough since COVID. And we're always trying to stay alive. You know, it's all family.
Mr. Cullen, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
With the completion of the contract for the Parkway, that eliminates a lot of the storage area in the back with the cars that you're towing in from the Parkway, correct?
80%.
So you'll be able to take all the trucks and any other cars that you're doing accessory work on
Yes.
and store them behind the fence. So that'll
Yes.
eliminate the problem with the walkways and the side street
100%.
with the residential.
100%. Now, I'm under oath. Once in a while, there'll be a pickup truck that came in at 9, gets finished, and then we park in the spot, 1 or 2, and they pick them up by 5 p.m.
Right,
But
you
they
have
won't be there.
24-hour towing, so there may be evening tows also that you'll have.
We have plenty of room now.
Okay.
The Parkway was rough. It was a rough 12 months. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, you know, to be
Thank
that
you.
rough. Thank you.
Okay, and lastly, the trailer container, what's happening with that?
Trailer container, the sea container?
Sure.
Okay, maybe you can tell me, now I have outside storage, right? I pay $750 per year, and I've had a permit for the last 10 years for that storage container, and I pay it every year.
Does he need a special permit for a?
Yes, I have a sea container permit.
You have a valid permit?
Yes, I do, and I pay it, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none? Okay.
Come on, guys, tell them we need this. Can I bring the whole family up? No, I'm sorry.
You want to hold?
Yeah, I want to go there.
Okay. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. You'll get the decision in the mail. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's different one. Kia.
Mind your way?
We'll just note for the record that there is no one present for 22252 South Shore Kia. And I don't believe there's anything you want to revisit, correct? Okay.
No.
Okay. Moving on to page 12 of the agenda, 22-155, Peter Tafali has agreed to cut back the driveway, but the work will be done in the spring. Moving on to page 13 of the agenda, the application is 22-198, Jeremy Block. Please refer to item number 6 in your correspondence, a memo from Mr. Normoyle noting that new plans were received, which would change the requested variances. So I'll go through them with you. We're on page 13, item 22-198, Jeremy Block, and the correspondence is number 6. The memo indicates that the new plans would change variance number 1 from increased height of accessory building from 14 to 16.9. Variance number 2 would be deleted. Variance number 3 would be amended increase height of garage door from 7 to 10 feet would be amended to 8 feet, and there would need to be a new variance added that diminishes the distance to the east side yard from 6 feet to 4 feet for the detached garage. So if the board was willing to allow those amendments, this property is located in Amityville.
Well, the application would have to be reheard because that variance was never advertised.
Okay.
Unless variance was too close to the side.
Okay.
They have to resubmit the whole nine?
They would re-advertise, repost.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood. Moving on to the bottom of page 13, 22-212, Ronald Hernandez. The expediter has still yet to respond whether or not they're going to bring their proposed changes in under 25% to avoid triggering the need for an additional variance changing a non-conforming use. Moving on to page 14, the application is 22-216, A. Angela Holdings. The record is remaining open until March 16th to allow for additional testimony. Moving on to page 15, the application is 22-224, Jose Mejia. The plan submitted did not match, so we are waiting for them to be reconciled. And the bottom of page 15, the application is 22-234, Car Star Auto Space. I understand an application to legalize the barbed wire was received, and I would ask if the board would like to have that finalized before moving on the application.
Yeah, I think we should. There's been issues with this site in the past, so let's
Understood.
get things in order.
I'd like to drive by again too, see if they remove some of the stuff. the
Absolutely.
cars and Stuff like that.
Moving on to page 16 of the application.
Bird's favorite.
16 of the agenda, the application is 22-238, educational bus transportation. There was correspondence received. It will be in the board's packet next time. It did not make it this time. I did include an excerpt of it. The attorney had asked the vice president for maintenance for confirmation for the school districts that would be serviced from this location. And the testimony was that the school districts would be Farmingdale School District, South Huntington School District. So we're continuing to hold this, however, because their traffic plan still needs to be reviewed. Moving on to page 17 of the agenda, the application is 22-241, Mariana Aravala. And if the board would please look at item number 2 in their correspondence, there's an email which showed additional photos of the fire pit as requested by Ms. McCullough. There was concern about benches. If you see the photos, it almost appears that the benches are quasi-planters and there are chairs, and the chairs are just removable chairs. But I defer to the board for their review. And I believe there's going to be an agreement to remove a portion of the driveway, but we need to have the plans updated to show that. So item number 2 in your correspondence is the email with the additional photos. And if Ms. Riley had anything to add.
The expediter wrote in the email that they were to submit the new plans for the driveway, but we have not done any yet, and I did follow up with him today, and I have not heard anything back.
Perfect.
Okay. Was anything else requested?
No.
Okay. Moving on to page 18 of the agenda, the application is 22-129, Oscar Madrero. So you will note that last week there was an updated memo from when this application was first heard in September of 2022. The property is located in Amityville, and planning had recommended that if it were to be approved, that there be a condition imposed that if the shed were ever removed, it would be replaced in a conforming location, and that there be no enclosure of the area underneath the second story. Let me see if I have the planning memo on this. Okay. This is 79 The Boulevard in Amityville. And those were the 2 recommended
This is the big
conditions.
house, yeah. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 22-129 with the condition if the shed is ever removed, there be no enclosure of the area underneath the second story.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to the bottom of page 18 and the top of page 19. It was the subdivision application heard last time, or the last meeting, Timothy Porter and Michael Nomakus. If you look at item number 5 in your correspondence, there's a memo from the DEC advising that they reviewed the test bore. I don't know if there's any comment on that. Okay. However, at the public hearing, council did state that they agreed to a condition that the basement will be used for storage only and no habitable space. And if this subdivision were approved, it would be subject to the usual covenants and restrictions. The property is located in West Babylon.
Always looks good. Always like going to West Babylon.
I believe,
No, I think the only question was the basement.
I think that was her question, where would the parking be? I think she was concerned about, there's an existing home, and then it would be a new home with an internal garage, so.
I make a motion to approve application 22-218A and 218B with, subject to covenants and restrictions, and the condition on the basement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Very proud of you.
Which brings us to the last page of the agenda. So all of your correspondence has been addressed, which leads you to accepting the minutes from January 26th.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of January 26, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
For your review are the minutes of February 2nd. And that concludes tonight's meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?